All right, let's be honest. In the world of remote start, there hasn't been a ton of innovations in the last few years. But when Idatastart came up with the hub, yep, this is certified game changer status. We're going to get into this and more, such as the brand new LCD remote that's getting all of the rage. And as well, we have our product expert, PHIL CAMIRAND, joining us to tell us all the details. This is CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM, all about Idatastart. And it starts now. Welcome, everybody, to another CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. We're talking Idatastart in the remote starter category, and this company has been about innovation since day one, and that continues to be so right to today in 2023 with the introduction of the hub, which we announced late last season. We're going to get some updates on that, but I'm not going to steal his thunder because we got my man PHIL CAMIRAND joining us. Now, Phil, lots to talk about today, some new goodies and the remote control as well. What can you tell us that we're going to be discussing on today's show?
Hey guys, PHIL CAMIRAND from Automobility, and in today's video, we will be talking Idatastart. More specifically, the new flashing tool that they just released, the hub, and we will also be talking about the new color LCD remote that they just released. If you haven't seen it, oh, you're gonna love this one.
Very exciting stuff, Phil. Can't wait to get into it. But first, a quick opportunity for our partner, SiriusXM, to remind the dealers tuning in that you should be totally supporting it and love it. But when we come back, we're talking Idatastart new goodies with PHIL CAMIRAND.
Hey guys, Ricky Lima here from SiriusXM. I had a chance to speak to some dealers and ask them what they love about selling SiriusXM. Here's what they had to say.
Coast-to-coast coverage.
I love SiriusXM for commercial-free music.
It's a great add-on sale and a profit opportunity.
We love selling SiriusXM because you can listen to the same channel coast to coast.
Profitability and ease of installation. It's a no-brainer.
We love selling SiriusXM for its ease of installation, great profitability, and reliability.
People love it.
All right, welcome back to the show, and thanks for staying with us. Again, we've got PHIL CAMIRAND in the studio with us today. We're talking Idatastart. So let's start this conversation off right from the very top. Let's kind of reiterate just how much of an innovation company Idatastart is within this category. Let's set the premise, because really what we'll be talking about today is a lot of their innovations.
All right, Ben, before we get into the meat of the subject and talk about the innovation that we need to talk about now, let's look at the past. Let's see what Idatastart, Idatalink did to make them such an important player in the remote starter industry. Well, if you've been doing remote starter for a while, you guys probably remember way back in the day when interface or bypass were a new thing, that you most likely had a wall full of interface because those interface or bypass were application specific, meaning that one car required one module, another car or another manufacturer of a car required a different type of module, which made it a hassle for you to manage your inventory. Well, Idatalink or Idatastart was the first company to introduce a flashable unit, so a bypass that would replace all of the units you had on your wall. The only thing you had to do is connect it to the internet and flashing for the application that you were doing that day. So saving you tons and tons of inventory. Now, if you go to today, pretty much everybody is doing the same thing. But Idatalink, Idatastart were the first company to do that. If we move on a little bit more, Idatalink, Idatastart also saw that certain vehicles were getting a little bit harder to do, and they were introducing a new technology called clone. So the ability for you to install that interface in the vehicle, extract the information that was required from the car, reconnect it back to your computer, send that information to the servers at Idatalink, Idatastart. They would crunch that information and then resend it back into your module so that you were able to complete your installation. So why did they do that? They did not want you to buy a different bypass. They wanted you to still be able to use that same bypass or interface going forward. So what does that mean? If you guys remember the ADS-ALCA, if you've purchased an ADS-ALCA 10 years ago, there's a good chance that today you can still flash it for a brand new 2023 car and it will work. If we move on, after that came the digital remote starter, where they merged the two together. So remote starter brain and an interface all in one, making it so easy to install, which brings up the next point we're going to talk about, the ADS hub.
Truly a story of innovation through the entire timeline that is remote start, which brings us to today. I remember when you came on last year, Phil, and introduced this this game-changing device, really. But today we're going to dive deep and kind of explore the relativity of how important this device is right now and moving forward. And it's called the hub.
You got it. If you heard the CMA presentation last year, we talked about the hub. Not everybody is up to speed as what is the hub, what does it do, and why do you need it? So we'll be talking about that today. So essentially, what is the hub? Well, the hub can do whatever this guy here can do. You guys remember the ADS USB? This is your flashing programming tool. This will allow you to connect your product to your computer and configure it depending on the application. You can set your features, your option, program it for the vehicle that you're doing on that day. Why did we release the hub? Well, Idatastart saw the need for a different type of way to do remote starter that they couldn't do at the time using the ADS USB. So they have spent a lot of time and energy making the hub. So before I give you too much detail about the hub, I do believe we have a small video that you guys can watch, and then I'll give you a product description, as I do have one with me, and we'll be opening the box and show you what's included with the hub. All right, guys, you saw it from the video. So essentially, the hub will do everything that your ADS USB will do, and will also give you the ability to extract information from the vehicle in a different way. In the past, it was always through the connection of the interface through the data bus inside the car. With the hub, it's giving us the ability to extract information directly from the key. This is why in the video we show you a little spot where you can insert the key inside of it. So I have the hub here with me. I will show you guys exactly what's inside of the package if you guys want to see. All right. So we got packaging right here. This is what you get when you order the hub. I have already opened up what's inside of it. Let's take a look at the wiring first, and then we'll take a look at the device itself. First thing that you're going to get is the USB cable. This is a USB-A to USB-C, so up to time. We also give you a power adapter that will allow you to connect your hub into a car if you're working from inside of a vehicle. Now, if you're using the hub on your desktop, we also include a little power adapter brick that you can leave connected into the wall and to your device directly. The last cable that you will see in the kit is your flashing cable. And one thing I want to show you to make sure that you pay attention is the connector that we are using. If you are familiar with the Idatastart product, the data-to-data cable, after you use it a gazillion times. Sometimes they will break here. This is an over molded connector, which is going to make sure that this cable will last for a very long time. So this is the hub by itself. As you guys can see, it says hub here. We do have an LED, and there's also an LED ring on top that will illuminate whenever you're doing your interaction with the device. At the back of it, you see all your ports. You'll get your USB-C, you got your power port, and you got your flashing cable port. On the top, if we pay attention, we guys can see that we have a little slot. This slot is where it will extract the information from the key of the car. As an example here, I have a Subaru key. If the firmware that we are using requires you to use the hub within the flashing instruction, it will ask you to take the vehicle key, insert it into the hub for it to be able to extract that information directly into the key. Now, one thing you need to make sure that there's no other keys attached to this key. We only want one key inside of it, and this should give you all the information you need. Now, are you going to require the hub for every single application that you're going to do moving forward? No. Is there any specific case or application that you will absolutely be required to use the hub? Yes. The instructions in the product guide and installation instructions, and even the website will be extremely clear on which application absolutely requires the hub. Why did we go the hub way? Well, it's going to allow us to support future vehicle and doing remote start. The best example right now is the newer GM trucks. To the best of my knowledge, iDataLink/iDataStart is the only company to offer support for these cars for now. And why they can do that? Because of the hub. So at the time of this recording, we only have a couple solutions that will require the hub, but as the future gets here, we will get more vehicle that will require it. If you're not sure if the car you're going to do requires the hub, just make sure you look at the website and take 5 minutes to read the instructions. You guys remember the stuff we don't bother reading? It's written there. So take your time and please invest right now into that tool, as in the future, this will be something that you will absolutely require.
So as I hear you present this one more time, Phil, I'm getting the sense that moving forward, this is going to be a critical tool for dealers to know about, to know how to use, and quite frankly, to be able to access certain platforms of new vehicles. In your opinion, why do you feel that manufacturers are going this way with their keys, such that making the hub even more important as we move forward?
It's all about technology. All the newer vehicles are equipped with more and more bells and whistles and gizmo. They're more integrated. They have way more technology in them. And way more technology means a busier bus or data bus in the car. And sometimes they have multiple data bus in the car, making it extremely complex for interface manufacturers and remote starter manufacturers to connect and control or extract information for that vehicle bus. So this is why, instead of going through a gazillion message onto the data bus of the car to find that exact word that they're looking for, they will go directly at the key to extract that information, and it will be a lot easier and faster for these remote starter manufacturers. In this case, iDataStart, as they are the only one to support such a interaction with the vehicle itself right now. So future-wise, the hub is your key. There will be tons of newer vehicles that will only be supported because of the hub. And I know that there's a lot of existing solution that will be simplified in the future, allowing you to spend less time doing the install. I'll give you an example. If you're familiar with clones, certain vehicles require a two-step clone. Go back, move forward. Well, with the hub in the future, whenever iDataStart decide to revisit those firmwares, they will allow you to do that one-step operation. Why? Because you're going to take the key vehicle, insert it at the flashing process, making it simpler. Now, it's not every car that's going to be changing like that, but the future is looking good.
All right, segueing now to another new device that's being introduced here on today's show. It is in the remote, actual handheld remote side of things, but this time we're talking about a very snazzy OLED remote. So, Phil, can you tell us more about this brand new remote control that, in your words, could be a game changer?
Well, Ben, LCDs remote are not something new. In fact, pretty much every single manufacturer of remote starter today do offer one or multiple different versions of an LCD remote. A lot of customers love your LCD remote, and Idatastart decided to step up their game and bring a lot more details and features built into their remote. In my opinion, it is probably the only one that you're going to need. So let's take a look at the product itself. Let's do a product unboxing so you guys can see what's included with the box, included with the remote, and you guys will see all the attention to the details that Idatastart put with this. So let's take a closer look. So what we see here is the RF kit, which is an RF4652AE. By the way, this is an RF kit. It comes with the antenna, companion remote, LCD remote, and everything you need to install it. This is also sold as just a remote, but I wanted to show you guys what the kit comes with. First thing is your LCD remote. It is very small in size, very thin and compact. The attachment for the key is leather-based, so you will not break a corner case of your LCD remote here. It is very strong and durable. This is a two-way color LCD remote that will give you up to 6,000 feet of range. It will also come with a companion transmitter, which is also a two-way, but this one is an LED remote, meaning that you will get LED flashing next to the button and you will hear a beep as a confirmation of the command you sent to the car. This is a very nice transmitter, and as you can see, the back is all metal. The attachment feels really solid. This feels like a great quality product. The kit will come with your antenna and your antenna cable. Antenna cable is your typical Idatastart antenna cable, and your antenna, if you're familiar with Idatastart, Idatalink, is your traditional LoRa antenna, which is an AN2400. So what does that mean? It means that if you have an existing installation that already has an AN2400 antenna or with the orange LEDs, is you will be able to purchase separately the LCD remote and simply learn it to your existing system and you'll be good to go. Now, we talked about attention to detail. I'm going to skip the part that you guys always skip, which is instruction. This is the customer card and a little bit more instruction, stuff we don't read. So I'm going to leave you guys to read it. Let's not talk about it. Is these little details here. This is a cleaning kit. This will allow you to clean the screen of your remote before you can install the included screen protector. So this is just like a cell phone. This will include 2 screen protector film that you can apply directly into your LCD remote. Instead of asking you to purchase it separately, Idatastart supplies 2 of them in the kit. Isn't that great? We know that an LCD remote is a lot more money than a regular transmitter, and if you break it, you're most likely going to break the screen. So why not include those screen protector film? So attention to details, this is the name of the game. So as you saw, this is what's included into the kit. Now, let's go and do a little demonstration so I can show you all the features that are built into that transmitter. All right, guys, for demonstration purposes, I have my trusted travel case, which consists of an Idatastart remote starter brain connected to a dummy vehicle. In the background, you see that we have a car and we have some LEDs into the headlight. That's going to mimic what a car would do as a reaction whenever we send it confirmation or we send it command. So what we got going on here is our companion transmitter. We talked about it earlier and we saw that it is a fantastic looking companion transmitter, metal on the back, super nice looking. We mentioned that this was also a two-way transmitter. So how does it work? This is a two-way LED. We have our transmit LED here, and we have our confirmation LED here. So whenever I send a command, the car, which is the case, is going to send us a confirmation and flash the LED next to the button that we just pressed. So if I send a lock command, we got confirmation. We saw the LED flash here. We saw the LED next to the button. Let me send an unlock, and we got confirmation. So I don't know if you noticed the speed of this. This is incredibly fast. You're going to get command confirmation extremely fast on your system. Now, let's stop talking about the companion transmitter and focus onto the star of the show, which is our color LCD remote. We talked about it. Let's see it. So color LCD. I don't know if you guys are going to see good, but whenever I press a button, we see that the screen illuminates and it's color. If I press unlock, we're going to get confirmation and we're going to get our light to flash in the car. It is the same speed that you guys saw with our companion transmitter, just you'll get audio visual confirmation directly on the transmitter. Now, we cannot see it through a video, but there is a little buzzer in this. So every time you send a command, the transmitter can also be set to vibration mode. So you can get visual, audio with the beep, and vibration, or a combination of whatever you would prefer. What I want to point you guys to is all the features that are built into this. So to access the feature, we need to use the side buttons, and this is our F button, which goes into the menu. So if you want to enter the menu system of this, you will press and hold the F button down for 3 seconds. And once you do that, you will enter the menu. So the first option that you see is the type of car. Right now it's a sedan. If I go down, let me go back up because I didn't enter it. So we have a sedan. If I press the F again, we go with an SUV. If I press F again, we have a pickup. Let's say we want to leave it as a pickup. Let's go to the next menu that we got here. Sound. We can change the sound for different levels. So right now it's in vibration. We can make it off, and then we can go to sound 3, 2, or 1. So you can change the level, or you can go vibration. If I skip, we can choose the screen timeout. So if we wait a little bit, the screen is going to go off. This is where you adjust that time. Let me go a little bit down here. This is great. You can select the language of which this transmitter is going to use. Right now it's set to English. You can go to French, or you can go to Spanish if you want. Let's leave it in English so it's easier for us to find our way into the menu. So let's go down. We have brightness, so you can control the brightness of the LCD screen. And you also have temperature. You can change it to Fahrenheit or Celsius. You will also be able to view all the information about that remote. So let's say I push that button here. So I don't know if it's really clear, but this screen holds tons of information. I'll give you a couple good information that you need to know about that. So if you ever get a customer that comes to you and goes, my rechargeable transmitter doesn't hold its charge. I plugged in yesterday and I'm sure I charged it for the full time and it's already dead. This info screen will give you tons of information. It will tell you when is the last time that you connected that remote to the charge port, and it will also tell you when is the last time that this remote was fully charged. So for that customer that says, oh, I plugged it in 2 minutes and unplugged it, and he's not sure why the remote is not fully charged, this will give you all that information. So it will give you very specific with date and time. Let's continue with the menu. You can power down the remote if the battery goes dead, or whenever you receive it, you need to press and hold the F button for 3 seconds to turn it on. And what do we got here? We have some features of the remote starter, turbo mode. You can go with the siren as well if you have an alarm. If you have a shock sensor, you can control it. You can control your ignition control door locks. You'll be able to program passive arming, weather mode, valet mode, and then you can still change your vehicle image. Well, hope you guys, everything I had to show you about this LCD remote, you guys probably saw that it is packed full of features and it is incredible. If you haven't played with it, super, super, super fast. Make sure that you take a look into this. This is definitely worth looking into it. If you need more information, idatastart.com, or you can reach out to your automobility rep. We will be more than happy to give you all the information about this new LCD transmitter.
I want to take this opportunity and thank my guest, PHIL CAMIRAND, for joining us on today's show. And if you're interested in more information on anything covered on the Idatastart catalog, make sure you head over to their website, found at idatastart.com. And for any dealer inquiries, well, you got to get a hold of Automobility, for they're the distributor for Idatastart. Now, in my closing statements, well, let's be honest. Idatastart has always been an innovator in this category and in the industry for that matter. And with the advent of the new hub device, well, I think it's clear to say that this is a company that's looking well ahead into the future and forecasting exactly the challenges that are coming down the pipeline. Manufacturers are making their vehicles more and more difficult with more information on the CAN bus to access. And I believe they have hit the nail on the head. They have foreseen the future, and they have brought to us a tool to give our installers not only an edge, but the appropriate support to be able to get Remote Start installed into customers' vehicles. Add to that a nifty new OLED remote that, from what I can see, is incredibly fast, very reactive, aesthetically pleasing, and certainly will catch the eye of many consumers this season. That's it for this CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.
There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM with over 150 channels in your vehicle. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.